Today, we're at the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Summer Nationals at the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Lee, and perhaps, as you can see, it is dreary, it is damp, but there's one thing about mud racing. No matter what the weather is, the show goes on. So the fans are enthusiastic. They are ready. Let's go trackside to Army Armstrong and find out what effect this weather may have on today's competition.
An interesting phenomenon about mud racing is the fact that wet weather really is not a factor as much as it would be in other forms of motorsports. You know, the track is still as wide, it's still as long, and you're going through mud. So the moisture is not a big problem, but the humidity does present a problem. You've got two basic types of horsepower being made here. One of them's with supercharged engines. Those guys are going to have to jet for the altitude, okay, for the air density. The weather will affect them. The other side of the slate, you got the guys running the nitrous oxide, okay? Nitrous oxide makes its own atmosphere. It doesn't know if it's raining, if it's 100 degrees, hot, dry, or whatever. So the guys with nitrous should have a definite advantage today. Back to you, Gary.
Well, of course, the mud is the mud is the mud, no matter what the weather is. As we take a look at the unlimited class, the paddle tires, the track length, 180 feet of mud, one run, the best overall time will take the first place prize money and the trophy.
You know, now don't be misled in this sport. Even though you have two vehicles going to the line, they're not racing each other, they're racing the clock.
And Army, here is a look at Dave Collins out of New Hampshire in split second. Dave has had a history of mishaps. Back in 1991, he had this brush with a crushed car. Now watch the front steering mechanism. He breaks an axle. Into the car.
Too much horsepower caused that. Actually demolished the drivetrain.
The next day, up against Robert Marciani's rat trap, Collins still in the far lane, snaps an axle, and goes head first into the stage.
If I were Dave Collins, I would not want to run the left lane at Bloomsburg anymore.
Then in 1992, once again in the far lane against the full-body truck of Victor Luis, Collins says this time he's staying clear of that stage. He gets out of shape and just takes out a timing device.
Again, if I were Dave Collins, I would not want to get in the left lane.
He goes up against James Carr today out of Trenton, New Jersey, and never satisfied. So let's hope that Collins can run the distance, just get muddy, not break anything.
And which lane is he running out of?
The far lane.
Boy, might just be a slow runner. I don't know. Let's see.
Let's see if history does repeat itself. No, he makes a clean pass. Let's check the time now for Collins. The good one, 3.28. 3.28. And James Carr, 3.94.
Well, he did make it through the trap, so it shows the vehicle will run relatively straight. He did it in a lane that I thought he was snake bitten in. Gary, I want you to observe at the end of the track the gray area. That's some sand there that the people have put down to help absorb the speed of these vehicles to try to slow them down.
Well, Collins' car's in one piece, and he's standing by with Army.
Well, you just proved one thing. The car will go straight. Congratulations.
Yeah, it came, well, I hooked to the left a little off the line, so I lifted out of it for a second. I didn't want to go over the wall again, so got back in it, but it took off good.
Matt Ward comes up next. He'll be driving his 32 Ford with the big alcohol-injected blow-on engine. He'll be shooting for a 328. There's a look at Matt Ward from here in Pennsylvania. He'll be pulling up alongside a real veteran, Tom Martin, out of the Hoosier state of Indiana in the Super Trooper.
You know, Martin has won 4 world championships, but they've all been on the indoor circuit. All the guys were glad to see him come outdoors to try to take a shot at him. Want to see if he can hold his own. Well, it's time to quit talking and start racing right now. Let's see what's going to happen. He's got to go quicker to 328 with the Super Trooper. Whoa, he is a player here.
He got a hole shot. He did indeed. Some trouble on the far lane. Matt Ward had some trouble getting stopped. He's been disqualified.
He shuts it down the sand trap down the far end. Meanwhile, March, hey, check the number.
89 for Tom Martin at 289. Let's look again.
Gary, the story, if you look at Ward on the starting line, he looks like, to me, he actually staged crooked. He went straight, he went out of bounds. I don't know if he realized how crooked he was sitting in that line when he shuts it down in the sand.
The way he was lined up, he did not have a chance to go straight once he nailed the hammer. Another look now at Tom Martin.
Boy, as soon as he leaves the line, the vehicle literally jumps up and just goes like a rocket down on the other end.
And here's Tom with Army.
I'm at 2.899. Looks good to me.
Well, it's a pretty good time right now, but it really wasn't that good a run. You know, the car got crossed up. I hit the right wall. You know, that definitely cost me some time, but it left the line good. I'm happy with that.
Well, we did do some maintenance there as we repair the timing light knocked out by Matt Ward in his last run. Look at this character here. A lot of characters here at Bloomsburg. We're coming back. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, where Ford Trucks present the Penda 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Summer Nationals, a part of the B.F. Goodrich Performance Series. Coming up next, Wayne Cooley and the Plum Crazy Willies with a big 500 cubic inch Rodeck 1947 chassis, or he would like you to believe it's a 47.
What you're
There's
looking
a look at Bob Wheeler and Krankenstein.
Yeah, Wheeler and Cooley have fiberglass replicas of Jeeps. Wheeler's based out of Pennsylvania. Would like to do good. I like the name of this vehicle, Krankenstein.
Once again, they're not going against each other. They're going against the clock. The time to beat is 2:89. There it is.
Might be something in that left lane. Everybody's had a little bit of problem over there, Gary.
Yeah, Wayne Cooley just did tap that hydrant barrier. He's been disqualified. He was out of bounds. And we'll check the time for Krankenstein. There's a 3.79. Not, well, he's cheering, but it's not that great of a run since he had to beat 2:89, but at least he kept it straight.
Well, you know, he may be cheering because the run may have felt a lot quicker than that for him. But again, the replay shows us we've got a lane. Maybe the old Darlington stripe is the same thing as the left lane at Bloomsburg in the motorsporting world here.
All right, we'll find out.
Everybody's having problems that runs out of that lane. Who we have coming out now?
Brian Mayetta comes up next. He is out of Connecticut, Danbury, Connecticut, in Foolish Pleasure. I like the name of that one. That's a 1988 Jeep CJ with the big blowing Chevy engine. Running the bigger diggers alongside Bruce Wilson in the Blue Bandit out of Pennsylvania. And this is a 33 Dodge with low power. 440 cubic inches of Dodge power. Time to beat 2:89.
I'm going to keep an eye on this Dodge in the far lane just to watch the lane. A lot of horsepower in the near lane. He goes through, but the Dodge, okay, observation. A 327 recorded for Marietta. The Dodge goes straight through. That helped the guy behind him. He made 2 grooves straight down that track.
Oh, by the way, we have a failure in the timing light over there in the far lane. So we're being told that Bruce Wilson will get one more run. Obviously, to his advantage, because that was a very slow one.
Well, what I'm watching is a mud race is like riding a skinny-wheeled bicycle across a railroad track. If you don't hit the angle right, you're going to be in trouble. Wilson basically made the lane good for everybody behind him. Yeah, it's to his advantage to go straight through. Everybody in front of him has been hooking to the right. He did go straight. So let's see if that lane comes around now, Gary Lee.
Here comes Born to Boogie. This is Bruce Swift, 1990 Jeep with Chevrolet power. He'll go up against Tony Pisillo, a fortified 32 Ford Vicky with a 460 Ford engine.
That's what I like about this sport. Everybody's equal. The carburation, the cubic inches, the superchargers, as Tony's face comes up on the screen, everybody has a chance at winning at this professional mud race. And these guys with NMRO have really put together a good group of rules that everybody around the country can run with. And right now, you're going to run with these guys, you got to go quicker than that 289, Gary.
You got to love these fans because despite the gloomy weather, they're out here in force.
Whoa, okay.
Hang on.
Well, the
Tony
left
has
lane's
a
good, the
problem.
right lane's bad.
Well, Tony just popped the tire off the right rim.
Okay, good news and bad news. Good news is the left lane is great. Bad news is the right lane went away now.
His time was a 4:31, so he'll need a tow back to the pit area. Bruce Swift at 3:25. Let's take a look again, Army.
Far lane gets a real good jump on the clock. Now remember, they're not racing each other. They're actually racing the clock. He goes through with a really good run. That lane is back to 100%. Meanwhile, we got a little problem in the lane closest to us, Gary.
Yeah, he popped the tire off before he ever crossed the finish line. So let's go down now and take a look at that right front.
What causes the vehicle to hook so violently like that right at the finish line?
Yeah, I'm really not sure, but I may have broken something in my front end there, and other than that, I really don't know why it would have pulled to the side.
As you saw the statistic, Tony is one of 4 drivers here utilizing the Ford power plant. As we're seeing more and more drivers look to Ford for power in motorsports. Tom Martin continues to lead the Super Trooper with a 289 clocking. Then Bruce Swift in the Borington Boogie. And Brian Mayetta is 3rd in Foolish Pleasure. A lot more competition coming up from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, including this guy, Shake Me, Tom Meets. He's a heavyweight, and he's coming up. Welcome back to Bloomsburg as we take a look at the fortified Ford being towed away after popping a right front tire. The competition will continue momentarily as they continue to shoot for that 2.89 clocking as we look at Rick Baum in Dirty Habit, the 1932 Austin Phantom Roadster. He hails from Reed City, Michigan.
Gary, that particular body style, the 32 Austin Roadster, used to be a real popular body style in the sport of drag racing in the altered eliminator class, but they're starting to work their way over to the mud sport. Meanwhile, in the other lane, you got a local boy coming out.
That big Al Ash in the Beef Teeth Blue, the Chevy S10 with the blowing Rodak power plant.
If you're going to do good, you want to do good for your own home state people, and that's exactly where Al is right now. He can be a player, Gary. I guarantee you this guy can make as much horsepower as anybody. He runs the full body because he runs a 4-wheel drive shop. But that is a fiberglass replica he's running, and he is running quick.
He's laid down a good one. He has laid down a good one. Let's check the time for Big Al Ash. Yes.
Bingo.
2:84. There is your new leader. 2:84 for Al Ash, and the local fans have something to cheer about here in Bloomsburg.
Boy, what a run. And it wasn't really straight. He had to work for it. You notice the chance he goes, now it hooks a little bit. He's working it back and forth, hooking ruts back and forth, but he's staying after the throttle.
Oh, he had to saw on that steering wheel, but he lays down a good one, and that is the standard bearer at 2.84. So let's go down and talk to Big Al Ash.
You know, in motorsport, they say when you're hot, you're hot. Son, I believe you're hot.
When you're hot, you're hot. You got to show it. What can I say? It's my weekend.
Well, that is yet to be seen, Al. Hang on just a second. I know you're enthusiastic, but here's a guy that would like to knock you off that pedestal. Here's Tom Meeks in Shake Me. That's the 32 Ford Roadster. He comes from Paxton, Illinois, and this guy has found victory lane so many times in his youthful career. He pulls alongside Joe Dore, Equal Justice, the blue Chevy S10. He is from Mays Landing, New Jersey.
Tom in the Shake Me vehicle has such wheel speed. The tires actually grow. All 4 of them grow just like a dragster doing a burnout. And he can just make a phenomenal amount of horsepower through the gear ratio. That's the vehicle in the far lane. Like you say, if anybody's going to catch Big Al, it can happen right now. Whoa, look at this.
He may have done it. You may have just witnessed the fast run here this afternoon. Tom Meeks, Shake Me, look at that, 280, that's it. 280. Tom Meeks is the quick one.
Left lane, Gary. That lane, when it came around good.
There's Joe's time at 4.14. One more look now, coming straight at you. Here is Tom Meeks. Oh, he has to hang on. He has to saw on that steering wheel, but Tom Meeks, a perennial favorite, perennial champion, is the quick one right now. So let's go down to the pit area and talk to Tom.
Come here a minute, fellas. A 2.802, and you backpedal on it.
Yeah, everything felt real good, and I hit the shift right, but for some reason it hooked to the left down there near the end.
Dad, how do you feel about this thing? You've had to miss a few races this year. You're back in the saddle, back on top of this thing. This kid's, you got to be proud of him.
Yeah, he does a good job of handling. It seems like he got a real cool head. Whatever happens on the track, he takes control of the car. He, his has got away a few times, and he's had it on the top a few times, but it's not normally his fault.
How often do we see a father and son combination in modern-day motorsports? I'd love to see it. As we take a look at Brian Harold now in the Surf Rat. He's driving a 23 Altered. Has the big blowing Chevy power plant with the bigger diggers. And he pulls alongside Midnight Magic. This is Dave Ray, another of the 4 Ford drivers with a 27 Ford.
27 Ford Roadster being the lane furthest away from us. Young Brian comes into the sport. This is what I like about the sport. A lot of new blood getting here. Look at this horsepower.
That's a quick one, Army. That is a quick one. Let's wait for the official time. We could have a new leader.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. 270. David Ray with a Ford power plant. Ford showing the way right now. There's Brian's time at 3:32, a 2:70 for Dave Ray. Watch again in that right-hand lane.
Boy, Ray put the ray gun on him this time, didn't he, with a 2.70.
He had to hang on as well, but he has to be ecstatic.
A 2.705. You put the Traveling Pro on the trailer. He was right in front of you, had a good time, and you come and drill him.
Yeah, it felt real good. We've been working wicked hard, and I want to thank all the crew. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. Yesterday we had bad luck. We broke a blower belt, 3/4 track, and the motor shut off. We took 4th, and I told my buddy right over there, I said, we're going to have at it today. We're going to turn it up a little bit, and we did. We had right at it.
Well, he could well be a prophet. That would be a hard run to beat right now. David Ray leads it at 270. Tom Means, the Traveling Pro, is second at 280. And Al H, the local hero in Beefy Blue, now third at 284. And Tom Means over to shake hands with Dave Ray. We're coming back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, where Ford Trucks present the Penda 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Summer Nationals, a part of the B.F. Goodrich Performance Series. These jamborees offer a host of activities for the truck lover as well as the entire family. So to find out when a jamboree is coming to your area, call or write the Special Events Promotion Company. As we wait for our final matchup, some highlights coming up from earlier in the competition. A good crowd on hand. The weather has now dried out as we take a look at Andrew Heister, who we've seen take many a wild ride here at Bloomsburg. He drew up against Joe Dore, who we saw earlier taking on Tom Meeks in the Chevy S10 Equal Justice. Heister in the near lane gets dusted, but is able to keep it under control. David Farbotnik in the 32 Vicky, they call it the loose screw, met up with Bruce Wilson in the Blue Bandit. Wilson, of course, had to come back for a timed run. Farbotnik in the far lane with just a small block Chevy, no nitrous, no blower, just alcohol injected. He turns in a 3:55. Wilson's time was a 4.570. Dwayne Welker up next in what went berserk against Terry Smith in Live Wire, another matchup featuring two local favorites. Welker gets the big hole shot with Smith bobbling at the line, then coming on strong at the big end. Welker 387 and Smith's a 5.069. And there's our leader, David Ray, looking on. There's nothing he can do now but watch. And our final competitors, the Magician, Pete Resick, a Pontiac Trans Am funny car with a 360 cubic inch Chevrolet. He's from here in Pennsylvania. And he goes up against Sean Kravitsky and the Grasshopper Lawns Incorporated, sponsored 40 cases later. It's a nitrous-burning Chevy, a small block with the Willys fiberglass body. And once again, your leader is David Ray. All he can do is watch. The time to beat is 2.70. Our last two combatants here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Kravitsky is away first, and that will not be fast enough.
We got it.
And you can hear the joyous reaction as Dave Ray now realizes he has won. There's the time for Sean and for Pete. But Dave Ray hangs on for the victory here in Bloomsburg.
Any win's a good win, but you and your crew have just really, it's almost like you were destined for this one, wasn't it? You came here with blood in your eyes today, and you're going out here with the first place check. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Tommy. I'll tell you, we have worked some hard, and I owe it a lot to the crew because we've tried everything. Yesterday we had some terrible luck with the blower belt breaking, and we come out today and we stood right on it, and we had to backpedal just a hair halfway through, but it pulled hard all the way.
A lot of guys are not really familiar with you run the Ford power plant. That makes you a little bit different up here.
Yeah, they always pick on me, saying, you know, what the heck are you doing with a Ford product under the hood? But, you know, hey, every once in a while we can do it too, you know. And today is our day, and it was our Ford, and we are #1.
Have you driven a Ford lately? A Ford in Victory Lane here at Bloomsburg. A good crowd starts to file out as we look at the final standings. David Ray, the Midnight Magic at 270. Tom Meents and Shake Me at 280. And Al Ash and Beefy Blue at 284.
Gary, the Ford winner does not surprise me. They've done a lot of research development in their heads. You're going to start seeing them in a lot of forms of motorsport. Mud racing is just one of them.
Well, of course, they've done well in the world of outlaws. Now we understand Ford could be with USAC sprint car competition. So indeed, a Ford is in Victory Lane here at Bloomsburg. For Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. We'll see you next week on Trucks and Tractor Power. Now, here's news of an exciting video release from Diamond P Sports.
Hi, this is Army Armstrong. Diamond P Sports has a special combo offer for you folks who watch Trucks and Tractor Power. You buy Shake, Battle, and Roll 1 and 2, we're going to save you $5, plus we're going to send you one of the authentic Diamond P crew hats. Take a look at these videos. It's unleashed horsepower times 2 when you call 1-800-366-8989 as the world of monster trucks, mud racing, and truck and tractor pulling slam through your living room. This is the aerobatics of the flying monster truck, the grime of the 3-second mud racers, and the unbelievable power of the truck and tractor pulling. You get all the thunder and fury of both videos, plus save $5 and get a free Diamond P hat. Just call 1-800-366-8989 or send check or money order for $34.90 plus $6 shipping and handling to the address shown on your screen. 1-800-366-8989.